Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Jet Reports Success Webinar Series. I am Amy Ramstead, one of the trainers / report analysts here at Jet Reports in lovely Portland, Oregon. So today I'm going to be talking about creating dynamic date columns using Jet Professional. The purpose of these monthly sessions is to help our customers and partners be even more successful with our entire suite of products. In prior sessions of this series, Mark Prozaki showed how to use the dashboard builder, and Brian Robinson showed my favorite tool, which is the browser. If you haven't had a chance to watch these videos, you're going to find a link to the recordings on the registration page when you registered for the entire series. This session is going to be posted there as well when I'm done. Coming up in the next session, Harry Lewis is going to be talking about the Jet Web Portal, what it is and how to use it. And Brian Robinson will show how to set up reports with report filters that can be changed for when viewers run the reports. That's coming up in September. Here is our agenda for today. I want to talk about the NP dates function. I'm going to talk about the NL columns function. We've got some fun with Excel dynamic date functions. And then I'm going to show you how to put it all together into a snippet to save all of your hard work and reuse it again later. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. I will not be answering them during the class, but I will get back to everybody who has a question. So a little bit about Jet Reports. Jet Reports was founded about 15 years ago as a fast and flexible reporting solution. Our products make it easier for about 10,000 customers in 94 countries around the world to access their data in real time. And then here's Jet Professional. Jet Professional is what I'm going to be using today to create these dynamic date columns. Okay, so there are a couple of reasons to use dynamic date columns. My favorite reason goes back to the days before I joined Jet Reports, when I would spend time at the end of every year setting up the columns for my reports for the months, and then I would have to create a running total, then hide the months that had not yet occurred. So I'm going to show you just an easier way to do it. Another excellent reason to use this technique instead of hard coding columns is for the flexibility of showing the data for the different period types, such as monthly or quarterly, all with a couple of clicks and not having to maintain different versions of the files. So you get columns of dates for the period type and for the time period that you want. Okay, so today I'm going to show you a couple of functions. I'm going to start with the NP dates function. Then I'm going to show you the NL columns function. And then when I have the report that I need, I'm going to show you how to create a snippet, which will save your work and reuse it later. And I'll talk about each of these tools that I use as I go along. So I'm going to start with the NP dates, show you what that looks like in the NP function wizard. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Excel. I have a blank worksheet here. So I'm going to open up the NP function wizard. Just talk about that NP dates function. So the what parameter is dates, and we do have a find as you type, so as soon as you display your list, I type in dates, it gets me dates. So the parameters for this function are the start date, and of course that's the start date of the range that you want created, the end date, we've got a period type, so we can either take a look at it by the day, the week, the month, the quarter, or the year. And then we've got a return period end. Return period end is just as simply true or false. It's going to default to false. So the return period end, if you do want the last day of that period, you simply make it true. So the NP dates function is great when you've nested it within a replicator such as an NL columns. To begin with, first, I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel here. I'll come back to this NP dates function. In the cell that I've got selected, I'm going to just type the word start date. And I'm going to use a fixed start date of the first day of this year. Now I want the end date. And for now, I'm going to use a fixed end date of 6/30. So this will give me a nice broad range. I've either got 6 columns, one for each month, or I would have 2 columns, one for each quarter. So if you remember that NP dates function, I want a period type. And once again, my period types were date, week, month, quarter, or year. For now, I'm just going to hard code month. So I should get a date for, or a column for each month in this range. All right, so now I want to start with a replicator. For those of you who are familiar with our product, you know that our NL functions basically come in 2 varieties. The what parameter will always determine the type of function you're going to create, and I want a replicator. So I'm going to use the columns function. And it says exactly what it does is it's going to insert a column for each value in the list. Normally I would choose a table function. Not going to do that here. Instead, I'm going to use a nested jet function and nest that dates function within the table parameter. So nested jet function, I'm going to choose NP. My what parameter is, once again, dates. My start date. I could hard code something, but instead what I want to do is use a cell reference over here to cell C2. I'm going to make this absolute by hitting my F4 key one time to put in both of those dollar signs. The end date, again, a cell reference. Period type, once again as a reminder, here are our period types. But instead I'm going to use a cell reference. And this will help me, so if I want to change either my start date, my end date, or my period type, then I can do that by just changing the values in this cell. Return period end is going to be false. I do not want the period end, I want the period start. So anytime you nest a jet function, you're going to see some breadcrumbs up here. So I'm in that NP function. This is actually what's selected here. I've completed all the parameters. I'm going to hit the back button. And it nested that NP dates function within the NL columns function. And that's all I need to get started. So I click OK. And the date comes across as a Julian-like date. It's just a date format. I'm just going to use something simple like the short date. So just to test it, just to show you what it looks like at this point, I'm going to go ahead and hit the report button. The report button over here on the jet ribbon. And that's what I get. Fantastic. I get one column for each month. I'm going to go back to design mode. I want to get the end date for each period. So this is going to be an NL function. My what parameter is going to be first. The reason I'm using first is there's only one end date, so might as well just use the first one. The table, once again, I'm going to use a nested jet function. NP, dates, start date. This time I'm going to use the cell right above me for that start date. And I'm going to make the column absolute. End date, I'm going to go ahead and use this one over here in cell C3, make everything absolute. Period type is month, make it all absolute. Return period end is true. Again, click back. And again, these are the only parameters that I needed. I needed the first from the NP dates, it's going to return the end value. Once again, I'm going to format this very simply. Got my home ribbon, home tab, format as a short date. So now I have the start date and the end date. Again, hit that report button to show you what it looks like. That's exactly what I was looking for. Now I want to show you some fun things that you can do to change. I'm going to take this back down to design mode. Maybe instead of a hard-coded end date, this is where the Excel dynamic date functions come in. I'm going to use something very, very simple like the today function. So today, there we go. So now when I hit this report button, I'm going to get 7 columns across. Just to prove it, there we go. And it's going to give me the entire month. This is so much easier than creating those static columns and hiding them later. Use these dynamic date functions to create just what you want when you want it. I'm going to go back to design mode and show you what it looks like for the period type of quarter. Very simply going to type in quarter. And then notice that this changed. Instead of giving me the end of the month, it's going to give me the end of the quarter. The end of the quarter was outside of my range here, so I don't have an end date for that. Okay, so now I have a columns function here with that NP dates nested inside. I have a first function here with an NP dates nested. I've got that start and end date. As far as these dynamic date functions, I just showed you something really simple like the today function. These Excel dynamic date functions, you're only limited by your imagination and your Excel skills. So if you wanted something relative to today, you can certainly do that as a start date or an end date. So now that I've got everything that I need, rather than having to recreate this every single time, I want to show you how to add a jet snippet. Before I do that, I want to make sure that I've got my auto plus hide plus values. Plus values will just convert the jet functions into values, and it allows the viewers to be able to see the data. So I've got everything I need. I'm going to select all of this, everything from cell A1 to my last function over here. Come up here to Snippets. Click that green little puzzle piece up there. That's what that is. And it's always going to call it new snippet, whatever your next number is. So what I would like to call it is dynamic dates. If you haven't used snippets before, they are amazing. The snippets will save bits of report, and you can use it again later. Snippets have a .snippet extension, and they are shareable files. So now if I were to start a brand new Excel document, rather than going through that whole process again, I can come over here to Snippets, find my dynamic dates, drag it over, and I have everything I need to run that report again. I personally like months better, so I'm going to go back to this, make this a little bit bigger, and change this to months. Oops. By the way, it does have to be month singular. For those of you who don't know, anytime you get a pound value or a hashtag value, click in that cell and hit debug, and it will tell you exactly what's wrong. But I know it's because my period type is month, not months, plural. All right, everybody. That was a quick version of how to create Jet Professional dynamic date columns. Again, it's the start date and end date that you want. You decide what that is, and the period type that you want as well. Nest it within that columns function, and you are ready to go. Thank you, everybody. Thanks very much for attending. Oh, I do have one more question. Just the last one that came in is show that columns function again. I'm happy to do that. I'll just flash it up here on the screen. What parameter of columns, and nest that dynamic dates or the NP dates function as the table. Thank you, everybody. I will post this out on the site where we've got the other recordings of other sessions as well. And looking forward to seeing you next time when Harry presents the JET web portal.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining the most recent JET Report Success webinar series regarding dynamic dates. At the end of the session yesterday, or last time, there were a couple of outstanding questions, and I wanted to create this short video to answer those questions. The first question is there a way to have the today function be fixed after the report has run? The answer is yes. And I want to show you what that looks like. So I've got the today function right here in this cell. I'm going to copy it in the formula bar and hit escape. I want to wrap this in an NP eval function. The NP eval function will then only recalculate that today function when the report refreshes. So that was an NP. What parameter is eval? That first option there. And then I'm going to paste that entire formula that I copied, including the equal sign. When I hit the tab key, you can see that JET puts quotation marks around the entire thing. I'll click OK. So again, that eval function will only update that today function when the report refreshes. The other question that we got was, can you use fiscal dates that are set in NAV? The answer is yes. You can use the accounting periods table to pull in those dynamic date columns based on those accounting periods. I've already created this, and I just want to show you what it looks like. So the what parameter is columns. The table is the accounting period. I want to get my starting date, and I want that starting date based on the entire date range that's in cell B5 right here. To get the ending date for that, we're going to use an NL first function and a little bit of Excel trickery here. So the what parameter is first, counting period is the table, field is starting date, and I want the starting date sorted ascending. This is where the Excel trickery comes in. We're going to take the text of the starting date that's in the cell right above us. We're going to add a day. We're going to format it. And we're going to concatenate that range operator at the very end. So this is what it looks like when we take a look over here in the right-hand margin. I'm going to click OK. And then up in the formula bar, you can see that there is a -1 at the end, just meaning taking that date and minusing 1 day to get the last of the day of the previous month. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining the Dynamic Dates JET Reports Success webinar series.